Welcome back to the Ryoko Show. I'm so happy you're here. Today's conversation is one that I believe so many of us need, especially in a world that keeps telling us to do more, be more, improve more. You know that feeling. Once I finish this project, hit that milestone, check off the next goal, then I'll feel good enough. Then I can rest. Then I'll feel worthy. But the truth is, underneath all the noise, that finish line keeps moving. That sense of enough always seems just out of reach. And that constant chase, it's not only exhausting, but it's soul depleting. So today we are going to step off that treadmill and ask a different question. What if your worth was never something to earn? What if you started from the truth that you are already enough just as you are right now? We live in a culture that says being busy is what makes you valuable. The message is everywhere. Work harder, stay busy, keep going no matter what. And yes, having goals and working hard can be good things. There is nothing wrong with wanting to do your best. And taking action is important, especially when it comes from a place that feels true and aligned. But when your sense of self-worth starts to depend on how much you do or achieve, it begins to weigh on you. You might start believing that you only matter when you are busy, checking things off, helping others, and reaching for the next milestone. And the moment you slow down, there is that quiet voice that sneaks in. I should be doing more. I'm falling behind. I haven't earned the break yet. This pressure isn't just about work. It can show up everywhere, in how we parent, in our relationships, even in how we grow or heal. We start thinking unless we are always improving or proving ourselves, we are not good enough, that we are not enough. But what if that's not true? What if that's just the belief we picked up and not a truth we have to carry? And what if doing less doesn't mean you are giving up? What if it means you are finally listening to your own needs, your heart, and your body? And there are two ways we experience ourselves, through doing and through being. Doing is external. It's about tasks, goals, and outcome. It's what the world sees, and yes, it's part of the human experience. But being is internal. It's the energy of presence, of awareness, of simply existing without needing to explain, justify, or improve yourself. Being is the space where you are not performing or producing. You are just there, whole, present, enough. And you've probably felt it before. Maybe watching the waves roll in, lying in the glass with nowhere to be, holding someone you love in total silence. In those moments, you aren't trying to be anything. You are just simply being. And that feeling is your true nature. And that's your baseline frequency. And that's home. And here's the interesting paradox. When you lead from being, your doing becomes more aligned. It flows instead of forcing. It comes from wholeness and not lack. And you are no longer striving to be worthy. You are creating from the overflow of knowing that you are already worthy. And I know this isn't always easy. For a long time, I lived my life by the rule of do more to be more, study more, work harder, learn faster, achieve constantly. I thought that if I keep pushing, if I just did enough, then I would be worthy. Then I would be allowed to rest. I would finally feel enough. Because deep down, I had associated my worthiness with external achievement. And while it might have looked successful from the outside, inside I was completely drained. I was in a cycle of burnout masked as ambition, constantly doing but never quite arriving. When I shifted from a 9 to 5 job to starting my online coaching business, I made a conscious decision to shift that. I created a boundary for myself, no work on weekends. At first, it was really hard. I felt restless. I felt like I was wasting time. I would think I could be doing more on weekends to catch up. What if I'm falling behind? But I stayed with the discomfort. I let myself feel the pull to prove, do more, and then not answer it. And in that space, I started practicing something radically simple, just being, sitting with myself, breathing, letting myself exist without an agenda. And it was a turning point. Over time, something shifted inside me. I began to feel okay just being there. My worth stopped being tied to what I produced. I became less perfectionist. I could separate result from my identity. I began to feel in my body that I am enough. And if you're wondering how to begin tuning into that frequency in your own life, here are some practices that helped me and might support you as well. So first, practice stillness. Set a timer for 5 minutes. No music, no agenda, just breathe. Notice the sensations in your body. Let yourself be with yourself. It might feel awkward or even agitated at first, and that's okay. Just stay with it. Stillness is where you meet the truth underneath that noise. 2. Use affirmation. Say it out loud. I am enough exactly as I am. Write it down. Whisper it to yourself or record it in your voice and listen to it. Let it become a new inner baseline. 3. Do less, notice more. What would happen if you did 10% less today? Not from laziness, from trust. Let go of one thing. See what emerges in that open space. So often, doing less creates more meaning. 4. Celebrate being, not just doing. Start tracking moments of presence. I rested today. I listened deeply. I said no from a place of alignment. Acknowledging what you do is important, but celebrating who you are being is just as important, if not maybe even more important. When you root yourself in enoughness, something shifts inside. You stop chasing attention. You start attracting alignment. You stop striving to be impressive. You start being authentic. And that realness is what people feel. You become magnetic, not because you are performing, but because you are in resonance with who you truly are. And in that energy, right opportunities, connections, and experiences begin to find you. Not because you shouted the loudest, but because you aligned the deepest. You are never meant to hustle your way into worthiness. You don't have to earn your right to rest, receive, or belong. You've always been enough, even before you achieved anything, healed anything, or become anyone successful. So maybe today's gentle reminder is this. Stop trying so hard to become someone. Start being who you already are, because who you are right now is already enough. Well, that's all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this episode resonated with you, I hope you carried that feeling with you today and maybe even share it with someone who needs to hear it too. Until next time, keep shining.